What are Vladimir Putin's ties to African nations? Basically, some African countries rely on Russia. For some, it's about Russian exports, and for others, it's about military support. Russia makes money from parts of Africa that helps fund the war in Ukraine. A lot of Russian influence in African countries comes through the Wagner Group, a private army of mercenaries. Russia uses the Wagner Group in Ukraine, but it recently attempted a rebellion against Russia that failed and saw its leader exiled to Belarus. Wagner operates in African countries like Mali and the Central African Republic, helping leaders fend off threats. In return, Russia gets money that helps fund the war in Ukraine, and Putin looks to build alliances with African countries. We don't know what will happen to those Wagner fighters in Africa after the failed revolt. Separately, 7 African leaders from countries like South Africa and Egypt recently traveled to Russia to meet with Putin as part of a peace mission to tell him the war in Ukraine must end. The war's reduced grain exports from Ukraine and fertilizer from Russia. This has hit African countries and raised food prices. South Africa says it doesn't take a side in the war, but it's seen as being closer to Russia and held joint military exercises a year into the invasion. Putin's invited to visit the country in August for a summit, but if he goes, South Africa would legally have to arrest him under international law for alleged war crimes.